and coding will be taught. Internship will be included. Students can go for local craftsmen, local food joints, etc. Children will learn dignity of labor to go for the food stall and all to like that. But still, I'm just want to tell you that in our school, children like they are doing all the practicals, and nowadays robotics, labs, and many practicals children are doing. So, and we are sending to the children when we teach, our teachers they teach, they go for the these many food stall like Domino's or like that, and whatever nowadays we are in Microsoft or with many systems we are using. And like before also they were using like we all the children they were going for the picnic like global whole world, like they were like watching the things, everything, they were talking to the other countries people, like still we were doing whatever the policies nowadays you have provided like now children they were doing before also. So I
Right.
think very few difference we are looking, and some kind of things, negative things. What I am thinking, like they are asking for the syllabus. Syllabus should not be decreased. It should be proper. It should not be decreased. If we decrease the syllabus, then children they will not do the proper studies. Practical they are doing. They can do
Right.
also. So that is
Right.
yes. Our teachers they were telling like it's not good for the
That's
growth.
absolutely right. This
And
is
one
a
thing is
realistic
like
concern by.
yes, education policy, like if they will provide, it will take some time to train the teachers. Like in their B.Ed program, we should change it. Then we can implement in our school many things.
Right, ma'am.
Yes.
Absolutely. So we'll come back to you for detailed
Okay.
thoughts and ideas on this. Dr. Priyadarshini, I would request if we
Yes.
can have your opening remark.
Okay, good evening to all. I'm Dr. Anjali Priyadarshini from SRM University, Delhi NCR Sonipat. Now, indeed, it's a very visionary document, and a lot of emphasis is being laid on learning in mother tongue, which I think it's very, very important because children they tend to learn more when something is delivered to them in their mother tongue. But it also increases our work. We need to make them provide the material in the mother tongue, which is lacking, and this here educators we need to work on it a lot more so that we are able to provide all these documents, like mostly the good books and everything, it's available in English in India too. It needs to be translated into the mother tongue. So I think that's the very important part. If we focus and if our emphasis is to move forward. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely, ma'am.
Hmm.
And now I would request Mr. Sunil Dangi. Sunilji, if we can have your opening remark.
Good evening, everyone. I will start with a statement that children must be taught how to think, not what to think. So that's how we can generate the future leaders. And I'll be talking regarding the NEP policy from the point of view the option which has come for the class 11th and 12th student. Instead of choosing the streams, they will be choosing the subjects, and that's been very important. And I'll be just talking about why it is important, and what how the technology can help to take the proper guidance, and how it will help, how the technology can help to the proper career in a scientific way instead of using the conventional methods. That's what I'm going to talk about. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I would request Ryan Bangera, if we can have your comments, sir. Ryan.
Yes, yes. Hello, very good afternoon, everybody. I'm Ryan, the head of music at Furtado School of Music. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you after a while, actually. And unfortunately, my colleague couldn't join in today. But I must say that this definitely is a step in the right direction. The NEP will definitely give our nation a much needed boost to the slow and laggard way of teaching. What really inspires me and and makes me look forward for this is the experiential learning, especially how arts plays such a huge role in the whole space of learning, and the balance between the left and the right brain, which I'd like to explore and explain to you. Thank you.
Right. Right. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Ryan. Now, with this, we move to the next part of our session, which is the main talk session. I would request all our speakers to share their thoughts, ideas, and if they want to say some roadmap. I would request all the speakers if you can limit your thoughts, for 8 to 10 minutes, so that we have sufficient time, in the end for the questions. I would request Seema ma'am, if we can have your ideas and thoughts. Seema ji.
Yes, thank you so much. So, as I am talking about putting into practice curriculum and pedagogy, how to achieve holistic, integrated, inclusive, enjoyable, and the kind of learning which everybody looks forward to. So, to begin with, when we talk about new education policy, and if I go backwards rather than starting from the beginning, if I go backward, for being good, innovative, adaptable, and productive human beings, students need to develop few skills. And when we talk about new education policy, these skills are very well documented. So to start with, students will develop language, their scientific temper, evidence-based thinking, creativity and critical thinking, innovativeness, aesthetics and art, oral and written communication, health and nutrition, wellness, physical education, collaboration and teamwork, problem solving, logical reasoning, vocational exposure, digital literacy, coding and computation, ethical and moral reasoning, constitutional values, gender sensitivity, citizenship, environmental awareness, current awareness, AI and machine learning, data science. So, to reach to this code map, to reach to this vision, we need to ensure that the learning is way beyond rote learning, what we used to do from ages. We need to make our children thinker. We need to make our children look beyond what is visible and then become a thinker who, as I said, evidence-based thinking, evidence-based learning. They need to be well researcher. So what is the need of the hour is this policy aims to produce engaged, productive, and constructive citizen for building equitable, inclusive, and plural society as it is envisioned by our constitution. So here a lot of emphasis is given on discovery based, discussion based, and analysis based learning. Here again, as if we talk about curriculum and syllabus, we have to ensure that each and every aspect of curriculum and syllabus is not just taught in the way we have done it, chalk and talk method, or now we have approach to more of blended learning method, but a method which stays with the child because it is developed with the child's own learning skills. Now, to give you a very small example, because we are integrating art in everything, when we talk about, say, the historical monuments of India, we restrict them to history. But when we talk about, say, Taj Mahal and Golconda Fort, these beautiful monuments cannot be built if your math and science is not proper. So you can have one beautiful monument and you can revolve all the subject around. We can have transdisciplinary, we can have interdisciplinary method, which will make our teaching learning more holistic and more interesting. Now, when we talk of this generation who is studying in our school, and many of the children do not have a lot of inclination towards history, so why don't we integrate technology? Why can't we have a, say, a Facebook page of Akbar or Facebook page of Shivaji, and then we make children write their entire timeline? Trust me, it will become so interesting. Technology will be amalgamated with our history, and history will come alive for us. Wherein, if we see deeply now, the barricades between curricular and extracurricular and co-curricular, they have that has been eliminated, and everything has become essential. And that is something which is very, very progressive, because if our English, Hindi, math, science are important, our dance, music, sports, everything is important. And to garnish it with vocational education, I think that is the icing on the cake, because vocational education does not empower you only for your skills, it also empowers you to understand what is dignity of labor and the kind of things you can do with your own hand, and then you can think beyond. For example, learning a skill like vocation skill like carpentry doesn't make you a carpenter, but maybe from that experience you will go into a design thinking mode and you will come up as a better thinker. Also, the emphasis on the life skills, which I think down the line, somewhere down the line, we were losing that. That has become a main important part of our new education policy. Also, the projects like Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat, wherein we have to make our children know about their roots. Because when we talk of application based learning, inquiry based learning, collaborative learning, or all the 21st century skill, if we look back and see, our Gurukul systems have catered these kind of skills so well. So we have to look back and see what we can get from our history and that we can implement, because usually we give reference to many countries, like we say Finland, we say Netherlands, but at times we need to look back to our motherland and find out the best practices that we are following. Again, from pedagogical point of view, we all are aware that now the delta model will be applicable, that is 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, wherein children have more space to explore. Teachers, enhanced teacher and empowered teachers definitely will be the biggest asset, because teachers have shown during this pandemic also that they are the one who can go for high order thinking. They are the one who can go for the cycle of unlearn, relearn, and learn and adapt to the changes. Similarly, our children need to be critical thinker. Their conceptual clarity needs to be there, and higher order skill should be implemented in each and everything that we are dealing with. Also, coming to their maths things or the science thing, we will have different kind of circles, as it is mentioned in new education policy. We can have like science circles, math circles, chess circle, drama circle, music circle, so that children are exposed to various genres of learning, whether it's curricular or it's co-curricular, whether it's academic or it is beyond academic. Olympiad has also got a special space in our new education policy, and the efforts will be made to convert Olympiad or translate Olympiad into various regional languages so that it can reach to each and every participant. And we all know that with this sudden change, the pandemic, we all have gone digital. So digital etiquettes, digital literacy, it's here to stay. And we have to live in a world which will be blended and which will be hybrid. Maybe we would have taken time to embrace it or adapt this, but with this pandemic we have learned that this is here and we have adapted to it. So it has become much faster than what we thought. So what is needed is to make entire journey collaborative, entire journey enjoyable, and including each and every learner, whether it's a special child or an average child or a below average child. I think the new education policy is catering to everything. For the first time, third gender is also included in the new education policy in the school system. So in conclusion, I would like to say, if we want to make our schooling journey or education journey enjoyable, we need to empower our child with 4 look. That is, look beyond. We need to give them those lenses with which they can look beyond, because when we look beyond the obvious, we can see creativity everywhere. We need to look around. When we empower our children to look around, we see the beautiful collaboration that happens. And today is one of the example of beautiful collaboration. We have collaborated from different parts of the country. Next is look within. It is very important to look within and introspect that how you are progressing, whether it's your academic journey or your co-curricular journey, whether it's your passion or it's your main core subject. So looking within is very important. Last but not the least, look deep. When a child starts looking deep, critical thinking takes place, and a critical thinker is the new age thinker. And that is what everything is there in new education policy. And these are the beautiful and visionary changes that are laid. Now it is up to us, how do we implement? Whether we implement it the way it is laid or not, that is each and every school how they will decide. But if we do that, trust me, the vision that India needs to become a knowledge country, that vision will be fulfilled very soon. But we have to follow the right path, and we don't have to deviate ourselves from the aim that is there. So let's work towards the bigger aim, make our children a better citizen and an asset to the global world. That is what I have to say.
Thank you, ma'am. And certainly, we all agree with you that to make India, Vishwaguru in terms of gyan and knowledge, we certainly need these four pillars, or these four tools. We need to create and develop capabilities, looking around, looking within, and creating thinking capabilities among our students. And you rightly said that we need to empower our students. To to create these sources of knowledge, not just in fact just giving them some set of knowledge and information and just asking them and expecting them to follow that that amount of knowledge. So thank you, ma'am, for sharing your thoughts and ideas. We'll come back to you with questions. Now I would request Anisha ma'am, if we can have your perspective of on national education policy. Anisha Sharma ma'am.
See, when this NEP came, we have gone through completely, and I was thinking how to implement, because a big question mark. I spoke to many of my colleagues, and they were apprehensive about the implementation. It looks very wonderful, and what ma'am has told, that gave me an insight how we are going to implement in our school. So, as you know, the development of any country depends largely on the education policy and how the education system is. And definitely, it is, we are again from modernization, we are going back to ancient time, how the Gurukul used to perform. In the same way, this NEP is going to get implemented, and drastic change it is going to bring in the school. And it largely depends on the stakeholders as well as the school leaders, how they are going to implement and how they are going to bring a change in the students' preparation for 21st century. As as so many changes the NEP says about the vocational training, but what I was thinking is how we are going to like explain this to the parents. It's very difficult for the parents to understand. If they are learning carpentry, they will think whether my child is going to become carpenter, or they're going to work in garden. They will be thinking, are they going to become the gardener? So first we need to explain NEP to the parents, and we need to train the teachers before the implementation. It is very, very important for the teachers to learn the implementation of NEP. It looks very wonderful and beautiful on the papers, and we are able to understand the importance of it. After a long gap of 34 years, we were looking forward, and I like NEP very much because it has brought the changes. First, a student used to learn in first year and leave, then all in vain. The first year's studies were in vain unless and until they were able to complete the entire course of any graduation, whether humanities or science or anything. Now it will be credited. They can get a certificate, they can get diploma, they can get degree. So it will not be in vain. But how the students are going to use this multidisciplinary into their life, how they are going to be benefited, is a big question mark after their qualification is completed, after the graduation is completed. So there are so many question marks, and we need to understand completely, besides bringing a change into the entire policy. Now English medium students are thinking how they are going to implement this mother tongue. It is very easy to explain the child in a mother tongue, and they are very easily following if it is taught in their mother tongue. But how it is going to be implemented in the state like Tamil Nadu, a big question mark is there. So we need to understand how the mother tongue, are all the English medium schools going to adopt this mother tongue from nursery till class 5th, is a big question mark. Whether the English will be taught as only one subject, not as a medium of instruction. So that is another question mark. So I have gone through thoroughly, and we are waiting for the guidelines of government and the training of the teachers before the implementation. We can come up with so many innovative ideas. As from rote learning, we will be shifting to a entirely new way of teaching, and the child will be obviously very much close, because experiential learning will be adopted by the child, and they will learn by doing, and they will relearn, they will unlearn. So they are going to learn it. But before that, the teachers need to be trained, because till now we are only right now virtual classes are going on. Before that, the teachers were confined to the four walls of the classroom. How they are going to implement this 10 days without bags, again, the children are going to enjoy it very much. And the vocational training, how the school is going to implement it, because we cannot hire so many experts for different vocational training of the students. But definitely this NEP is going to give a large platform, and it is going to provide a choice, change, and a chance to the students to learn and be ready for the coming generation for 21st century. They are going to prepare themselves very much. And it obviously says that they are going to spend, the central government and the state government is going to spend 6% of GDP. Again, it is a big question mark how it is going to happen, because the state government need to involve, and the state and central government is going to work together for bringing back the dropout students. Mostly in 11 states, I have gone through 11 states, the students are not completing even their 10th class. So it's very difficult. On paper, it looks very good, beautiful that the students are going to learn coding from 6th onwards, which is very, very important and mandatory for the students to prepare themselves to learn artificial intelligence and to learn through digital. And the digital platform is completely ignored. How the infrastructure is going to have this? Are all the students from the remote area also, and the poor section of the society, how they are going to implement? So lot many questions are there related to NEP implementation. The 8th class schools and the towns, they are going to give 100%, and they are going to be benefited. The students, the stakeholders are going to be benefited with NEP, because as Madam earlier said, so many beautiful ideas she has given. Through that, the students are going to be benefited a lot. But I am talking about the lower section of the society and the schools which are not having a big infrastructure and digitalization, and lot of amount and money is involved in the implementation of this. So many question mark, but still I'm very optimistic and looking forward to implement NEP and bring a drastic change in the entire society, as well as our school and the state and country as a whole. Thank you so much.
Rajul, you are on mute.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ma'am, you have raised very important points that this NEP has the potential to take us, from rote learning to real learning, if implemented successfully. And to implement successfully, we all need to work in a collaborative way. So big thanks for sharing your thoughts and ideas. We'll come back to you with questions. Now, I would request Rana, ma'am. Ma'am, if we can have you have tons of and decades of experience. You have been working with, you saw the implementation of last education policy. You also saw the shortfalls and lackings in that policy. So, what are your thoughts and ideas, Rana, ma'am?
Like nursery to fifth. I will start from nursery to fifth. All these people also explain the things. Nursery to fifth, like there's no bag. Like they will come and do. They will play. They will use like all the things. So my experience is that children whole day they cannot do the practicals, they cannot play, they cannot do many this kind of activities. If we are providing in the school many facilities, but still whole day children cannot sit in one place, and like whole day they cannot do the practical, because by nature maximum children are very naughty, very active. We cannot say naughty, they are very active, they need work. And sixth onwards, 6th to 10th, like 6th to 10th we will start the books, but it should not be books should not be more, syllabus should be reduced. Then I think if many practicals we will do, we cannot prepare the children till 10th for the board examination. And for the 11th also, for the board examination, if we are not teaching them properly, and parents are working nowadays, like father and mother, both them are going to the work, maximum people are working. So if we are sending them for the practical outside, of any other places. So that is the responsibility of the school, as well as to the teachers, as well as to the parents also. If something happened wrong, if children they are going outside, so I think to send them outside for the practicals and all, it is very difficult because some people don't have the buses. But in private school, we have many buses, many facilities, computers, internet facilities, and ATL facilities or maximum facilities in many schools are there. We have also, but see, still in some schools the facilities are not there. So what children will do? They will not do the theory, they will not do the practical, they are not able to go out. So like lower class will suffer because their parents can take they cannot take the responsibility. That is means. And in degree course, this is 4 years. Like first year if they done, they get the basic and then a diploma or a degree like that. So sometimes what happens, some people will think that we have get the diploma, it's enough for us. So they will not try to do the degree course. Some people definitely they will do one thing. Another thing is that the language like mother tongue is Hindi and Bengali, and in South, South language, if children they do the studies, English is international language. And if children they will start to learn, because this is a human nature, go to easy to difficult, always they want to in easy way is mother tongue. If we will not force them to do the English language and do all the things in English, like subject English medium schools, if children they are definitely if they are going outside of the country like foreign, or exchange their ideas, or children they want to go in other countries, many children they are settled in Europe and America, or like that big countries. So if their English is not good, how they will go there? So my mean to say, whatever is going on, mother tongue or a regional language is required, but the medium should be in English. Then children can raise. And university level, like university, one thing is that if once we were science, if children they want to become doctor, if they will not take all the subject, it is very difficult. And if they want to take any subject, so specialization how they will do, that is also a big problem. And my mean to say that whatever is going on, we should increase the practicals, we can give the these facilities, but we should not be decrease the course. That is I think so good for the children. So my mean to say that all the teachers, I talked to them, I got the meeting, their ideas was like that. But everything is right, but main thing is that. Thank you so
Right,
much.
right. Thank you, ma'am. You talked about teachers' empowerment. That's the key, for the success. And you also rightly said that this would be a challenge for budget schools and schools in
Yes.
villages. Absolutely, absolutely. We all agree with this part. In fact, a lot of good schools in India are already implementing these, these policy points. After the discussion, we have come on this conclusion. So, challenge would be for the government schools, budget schools, and the village schools. So, thank you, ma'am. We'll come back to you with questions. Now, I would request Dr. Anjali Priyadarshini ji. Ma'am, you represent, the higher education, and this NEP talks about the integration between the school side of education and the higher education. And also Negi ma'am also talked about that vocational education, the importance which has been given in NEP on vocational education will create real thinkers. So what are your thoughts and ideas about NEP, Dr.
Yeah,
Priyadarshini?
indeed. Like a lot of there has been talked about how to proceed the students towards the higher education. Like the emphasis is on a multidisciplinary approach. Everybody is saying कि, a multidisciplinary approach should be followed. But we should start it from the beginning. Like the subjects, they have been divided into arts, science, commerce. Okay, a student, he cannot take biology with history. We are talking about being multidisciplinary, but how is it possible when we have divided these subjects in these boundaries? So here, at this point of time, it's just not possible. Like this education policy, it talks about like recognizing, identifying, and fostering the unique capabilities of each student. Okay, so we understand each student has its own capability and he can be multi-talented, but how to channelize this talent? Like if I teach an engineering student, that particular student is very good in arts too. We need to bring both these aspects on a common platform so that this holistic development of student can be done. Now here in this kind of development, it needs the effort from all of us, all the teachers, whether they are from primary, middle, high school, or from the universities. But here I think the teachers who are there imparting the primary education, they are burdened with a great responsibility, because we are being taught, like we have learned to teach in a certain way. Now we need to unlearn that, and then only we can impart, we can take it forward to the students. So I think the teachers training, it also needs to be revamped. Like teachers, how they bring about the holistic growth and development of the student. Now what is the approach that is being followed? It's very much syllabus oriented. Okay, this is the syllabus, this part you need to cover, this answer. There's no creativity in that. Okay, the questions which are, and how the questions are being set up for the examination, this also needs to be worked. Because all these things, if we are talking about make the student they develop the skills, make them entrepreneurial, make them creative, how to do it when they are, when we are putting them in such a confined environment? Okay, you need to learn this much, you need to put in this much, you'll get this marks, go to this college, you get this much package, okay, your life is set. We don't want that. This education policy, it is talking about the skill development. Now how to do it? So I think a lot needs to be done, which can be if we work together. And obviously, like what at the university level, I am basically I am a biologist. Okay, I am working with infectious disease, I am working with the diseases. Now disease is, I'm looking at biology. I also want to detect disease. I want the instrument. I need the help of a physicist. I need the help of people from chemistry. So all these people, they need to come on a board. Now here we are looking at people from different streams. Okay, how can we develop, how can we bring out students who are able to think in this holistic way? Okay, if I want to study something, where should I go, how to gain this knowledge? So I think the onus lies on us, the teachers, to bring it forward, and for the betterment of the society and the students. Thank you. Sir, you are mute.
Thank you, ma'am. And you know, this is very important. The integration between different streams of education, that this very much required, and teachers training. You know, this has been shared by a lot of educators, a lot of speakers. That teachers training would be key. You know, as PL Lana ma'am rightly said, that teachers training is required, and also Anisha ma'am also suggested that before the implementation of NEP, teachers training is required. And thank you, ma'am. We'll come back to you with questions.
Thank
Now, I would request Sunil Dangi ji, sir, if we can have your thoughts and ideas.
Sir, you are mute. Please unmute
Sir,
yourself.
you are mute.
I'm sorry, it's happening with everybody. Anyways, uh, So what I was saying is that every there are a lot of three educationists, four educationists in fact are sitting over here. So Seema ma'am was talking about the life-centric approach. This very positive step of this new education policy and discovery-based learning. And then Rana ma'am was talking about in his opening remarks. She was saying that a lot of technology need to be used because the changes which are required through this new education policy are a lot, and to achieve to achieve those changes within the given time frame of work, then we need to use the technology. Without technology it will be very tedious task. Then this Anjali ma'am was talking about the mother tongue. Yes, of course, in India only 10% people understand the English, and the rest of the people do not understand English. If and because of that, lots of people remain uneducated because of this language barrier. So it's very important that we should teach the one should be taught in multiple languages, or especially in mother language. So now the thing is that I am we have been working with the we have been talking to various principals for last 2 years, and we were trying to solve a problem. And our the problem statement is that conventional ways of the choosing the career seems to be not correct. The way the in conventional way generally a child choose a career under the guidance of the parents, friends, relatives, neighbors. But are these people, those who are guiding the child, do they aware of all the career options available? And do they understand the importance of the aptitude, personality, and interest of the child? Do they even know the path, the optimal path to reach at the epitome of any particular career? So basic question is, do they qualify to to be the guide of a child for choosing a career? Now what happens is, due to that, because of choosing the career in a conventional ways, it could lead to the dropouts. That because a child starts learning something, and he did not like that, that may doesn't suit his or her interest, personality, and aptitude. And interest and personality are the psychological terms. There are six type of personality, there are six type of interests, there are five type of personalities. Personality is a trait, it's a kind of a typical behavior of a person in a given situation, and that does not change over a lifetime. It almost remains same. So the thing is that there are multiple interests, like six type of interests are like realistic interest, conventional interest. Realistic interest is like a person who like to do the things with their hands, and they want to see the things and then they want to do. The people like hardware engineers, carpenters. And there are another interest like investigative interest. Investigative interest are the people those who like to investigate, R&D kind of people. They will keep on sitting on their computer, they will be doing some data crunching of thing, or they will be in the labs, like data scientists are that kind of people. So there are six type of interest and five type of personality, and multiple type of aptitudes like verbal aptitude, numerical aptitude, abstract aptitude, so clerical aptitude. So it's very important to give the due importance to these three things: interest, personality, and aptitude. And if we will not give the importance to these things, and we are choosing a career in a random way, then it could lead to dropouts, generating the unemployable degree holders, and in rare and extreme circumstances it may even lead to the suicide also. And there are facts for it, it is just not our imagination. In last 2 years, around 2461 students dropped out after taking admissions into IITs. So this is such a big figure, that why the people are, after putting so much effort, after clearing J, they are going into some premier institute, and then they are dropping out. So because they did not choose the career properly. Then there is an Economic Times news which says 94% of engineering degree holders in India are not fit for job. So basically, what is happening is that if we're learning something which doesn't suits our aptitude, personality, and interest, then of course that the chances of learning that thing in a proper way become very difficult, and hence a person will remain unemployed. People are not giving job to such people, because so. And the next thing is that the work he's doing does not suit his interest, personality, and aptitude, then he will always remain restless. That is it what I want you to do? That and if a person is doing a work without without having proper interest, then the chances are very high that he will not be that efficient in the job. So what happens either during the studies or later in the life, that becomes so serious sometimes that someone can lead to suicide. And in India, there's around one student suicide per 1.5 hour. 1.5 घंटे में एक बच्चा suicide कर लेता है. And this is a so important thing, and I'm very much thankful that in the new education policy, it is allowing for the multidisciplinary kind of things, and it allows the student to take the choose the subject instead of stream. When I was a student, I was good at math, so everybody was told me that okay, you take the non-medical and then appear for JEE, and then you can become an engineer. But at that time, I wanted to study economics also. I wanted to study the political science also. But these facilities were not available at that time, and because it's a very very positive move. So now the question is that even for the last 2 years, we are talking to various principals, and we're asking that what facility do you give to your students to choose a stream in a right way? How do you guide your child to whether to choose a non-medical stream, medical, humanities, or commerce? What method do you follow? So most of them said, okay, you have got 90%, 95%, so you come into non-medical or medical stream, and rest, those who are little less marks, you come into humanities, right? So is it the scientific way of choosing someone? Because your academic record does not tell about your interest and personality. I'll just take an example. Just for example, as I explained, that there are 6 types of interests. Say there is a child who has a investigative interest. Means he can sit on the computer and he can investigate the things. And he has his personality is say introvert, and his or her numerical aptitude is very high. Such child is very high chance that he will clear the CAT. He will get a very high percentile in CAT, and someone can suggest him, okay, you are getting marketing in maybe MBA marketing IIM Ahmedabad, you go there. But that guy, that he has an introvert personality. His interest is investigative. He can sit in the office and do the R&D. How can he go into the marketing? He will not be successful. So what happens is 90% of the people, those who are doing, they haven't studied that. What we studied, we are not doing it. So it is very important to choose the right career at the right time. Now the question arises is how to choose the right career. How to what are the scientific ways? So we are working with the IIT Delhi for or R&D is going on. We are developing psychometric assessments, and our psychometric assessments are not the existing psychometric assessment. These are the gamified version. It's very very important to make the things simple and interesting. So what we have developed our career counseling platform is every information in audio visual format and a multilingual, because only 10% people understand English. So there are audio visual format, everything in audio visual, and we are telling the child that even when you pass out, how many jobs will be there, what will be the salaries in that particular career, how many seats are there, in which college you should apply. And he can just take a psychometric assessment, and our reports are also multilingual, audio-visual based. Even a parent, just think of a mother who is sitting in a remote areas of some village in India. So, say someone sitting in Punjab, our report will be that after conducting a gamified psychometric assessment, then the report will be audio-visual, which is a multilingual. They say, "Tuada munda extrovert hai, extrovert munde can do this and all." So this will be easier for the parent to understand, because lack of awareness always generates the fear. I'll not say the parents are wrong here, because they want their kid to fit, right? But they do not know the career option exists. They always send them in a traditional careers. So I will just take for a few minutes, 1 or 2 minutes. I'll just present my screen. I'll show how the platform looks like. So this is just our website, the student portal inside. For example, you just look at that. We are having the careers. Every career is in English, Hindi, and everything. Every language. Yeah. Just I'll play this video.
इंजीनियरिंग डिजाइन से संबंधित डिजाइन और इसमें लगने वाली लागत का अंदाजा लगाने में क्या आपकी रुचि है? यदि हाँ, तो आप ऑटोमोबाइल इंजीनियर बनने के लिए उपयुक्त व्यक्ति हैं। नमस्कार, मैं प्रीति मुंजाल हूँ। ई वैंगो में आपका स्वागत है। आइए देखते हैं कि किस प्रकार आप ऑटोमोबाइल इंजीनियर बन सकते हैं। ऑटोमोबाइल इंजीनियर आमतौर पर कार, मोटर बाइक।
These careers are in multilingual. This is in English also, a similar career, same career.
Are you interested in developing engineering specifications or cost estimates for automobile design concepts? Then you should consider a career as automobile engineer. Hi, I am Preeti Munjal. Welcome.
And these are the dashboard of a child, where a child can explore all the careers, and he can just keep on adding in his cart. If he'll go to any career, say this is fully detailed one, where all the information about what are the vast job trends, what are the future prospects, what are the salaries in India, what are the colleges, top colleges, what are the entrance exams, and what he can do is he can just simply select this career, and that will be added into his cart. And we are also, the new education policy has talked about the holistic approach and everything. But how a child, it's a Sima ma'am was saying that look within. So what happens is generally a child forget his marks, what was his marks in class 5th, 6th or 7th, 8th. So there should be a digital platform where all this information can be kept. Say all the education, if all his marks of previous class and current class can be kept in, and he can also keep his holistic performance, like what other certificate, dance, or if what kind of achievement he has, and he can upload the document for himself. And this is the portal which he can access anywhere and everywhere. So it is like explore. After exploring all the career, find out the best fit using the psychometric assessments, and after finding out the best fit career for yourself, then start exploring the college and exams and everything for yourself. There are n number of colleges on the platform. They can look at all these colleges, what is their ranking and what are the admission criteria. Similarly, there are what are the exams. They can simply, there are so many exams, GSAT, WebG. They can shortlist that I want to appear for this. So it will automatically add it into his, the child's card, and there will automatic reminder will start coming up. So this is the very important to use all AI based kind of things for and this is a very innovative one. We are using the artificial intelligence and everything. So this is a platform. As I told, this research is going to be published in a single journal. And Professor Purnima, she is a very renowned professor from IIT Delhi. She is president of International Association of Flight Psychology. He is editor. So we are working with them. We are also right. So this I just want to take the feedback from the people who are sitting over here, how we can make this platform more useful, because we are going to come up with we are only going to launch this within 4 months from the next session, from the April onwards. And currently what we are doing is we are giving it to the school for free. If someone wants to approach just to go the feedback, is a beta version actually. So if you want it for free, then it's you are most welcome. And please give us the feedback. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sunilji, for sharing this modern age process to discover one's career. Thank you. Now I would request Ryan. Ryan, if we can have your thoughts and ideas.
Absolutely. Yes. It's such a pleasure to listen to each of you and the perspectives that you all come with. There's one thing that I want to share, that arts plays an equal role. I know Miss Rana was talking about language a couple of minutes back, and she was highlighting how important it is for one to speak in the mother tongue. While there is a language that goes beyond every other language, and I would call it the language of music. It's a language that not just touches the heart, but it also touches the mind. So I just want to share, one slide with you right now, and maybe ask you a question, uh, and let me know if all of you all are able to see um, what is being shown. So the question is this: when you put your palms together and your fingers are crossed, does your right thumb stay on the top or on the bottom? You can do that by yourself, and I repeat the question: when you put your palms together and your fingers are crossed, does your right thumb stay on the top or the bottom? And you can maybe write them on the chat box. And I'll just come back to why am I sharing that thing with you. If you all can share your thoughts, I'd love to see if it is, yeah. So thank you, Anjali ma'am. You've said it in the bottom. Some of you, I'm sure, will have it maybe on the top. And you will see, as people are populating the list in the chat box, you will see that each one of us are wired very differently. And where is this coming from? This is coming from the two hemispheres in our brain, the right brain and the left brain. The right brain, we talk about a lot of things being methodical, a lot of things being on time, data driven. While the left brain maybe talks about all being creative and, the artistry, the life, the creative side of you comes alive. So, taking that whole thought process ahead, I said it is important at this forum for all of us as educators to maybe just get a glimpse of what is the power of having both these aspects come together. While education, like we all know, it definitely helps with one hemisphere of the brain because there's so much of logic that is taught. But a lot of times we kill the life in the student by just being one-sided and maybe very weak on the other side. So it's a good idea to maintain that balance. Therefore, I would like to share a short video with us, and this is keeping in mind the current thought process which we've just completed of the left and the right brain.
Sorry about that. I didn't hear anything.
So yeah, I'm just going to start.
I'm here to tell you why learning music can actually make your student a faster and better academic learner. Neuroscientists have confirmed that when you do academic tasks like reading, math, science, or history, you have a specific area of your brain which lights up. But when you learn music, multiple areas of your brain light up at the same time, which means your brain is replicating the equivalent of an intensive and comprehensive gym workout. A fact that neuroscientists have confirmed with the help of fMRI and PET scans. Thanks to learning music, this carnival of lights engage the visual, auditory, and motor parts of your brain simultaneously. And this leads to the overall strengthening of the brain, which allows your student to excel in so many other academic activities. Let me give you an example. Learning music combines the power of your left brain's mathematical and linguistic capabilities with the right brain's creative and emotional capabilities. So it basically develops the left and right brain at the same time, making you an overall stronger and more creative learner. It has also been proven that learning music helps you create, store, and retrieve memories really efficiently, leading to students doing far better academically. And this is probably why musicians are known to solve problems more effectively and creatively in both academic and social settings. And to help students get the best possible classroom music experience, we at the Furtado School of Music have created a curriculum that is not just super fun but is engaging, covers the correct techniques, theory, and songs that your student would love to learn.
Thank you. So that's just giving you a very short perspective of why music plays such an efficient and such a seamless role. I think it's one of the most cost-effective ways. I did see an article where a surgeon was actually having a surgery, on a person, and he actually asked him to play the guitar because it was a brain surgery and they needed all parts of the brain to be active at that point. So that's one brilliant aspect of having music come together. I want to now, highlight to you who we really are in the space of music, and why do we really talk so much in and highly about music as a subject. So, our primary function is to teach music, and we are an organization that has been in the industry for about 154 years. Our parent organization, Furtados, has had the legacy of having instruments being given to a lot of places all across the country. And Furtado School of Music is just a birth uh, from the parent organization, where we said now that we're distributing instruments, it's time to now teach across south, north, east, and west of the country as well. We've been quite blessed, I must say, since the launch of our organization a decade ago. We have about 145 plus schools, 15 centers, and we are teaching close to 75,000 students. We have been also conferred as the largest music school in the country. Some of the associations are right in front of you, whom we have been successfully working with. Like it was mentioned earlier, we also have the largest band competition in the country, where students come together, they collaborate. In fact, even in the COVID times, we conducted the Bandit Festival online. And there is a perfect ending to everything that we do, which actually helps know what the child is learning through the year by conducting the cadence, which is the annual day. Some of the events that we have done in the past are a piano concert. We've done workshops, we've done high jam trainings, we've done exams, and like you can see in the picture, there's nothing short of smiles. We've also been, successful in conducting the online classes across the board. We have done a lot of workshops, concerts. In fact, in the month of December, we've just done a concert called the Piano Concert, where we had a Canadian artist who came and performed. And we have webinars with reputed artists like Darshan Doshi and the others. The primary age group where we function is between 8 to 35, and we have our footprints across most of the social media circles, as well as the mainstream media, where we have been covered across, the rural tier 2, tier 3 cities, as well as the metros. Some of our awards and recognitions are the fact that we've been given the Best Music Curriculum Award. We've been the first India's Emerging 20 finalist as one of the India's top 50 emerging global companies in 2018. There are a lot of things that you can read right now on the screen, where this is purely the team's work and the perseverance in getting to where we are today. And last but not the least, our education partners, Berkeley, which is one of the largest and the finest school of music for contemporary and performing arts, has collaborated with us. There was a time where music learning was not possible. And even if you're a music learner, there's no diploma or degree that is available. Thanks to NMIMS, today you have a diploma for music after you complete your 12th, or you can pursue your degree in music as well and get an official tag to your music learning. We conducted summer workshops. There is currently, as I speak, there is a winter workshop also which is moving online. There is a lot of movement, and we see, students lapping this up because it's within the convenience of their home. You do not really have to go out and learn music. It's right in the four walls of your house, and you have the teacher right in front of you. The meaningful experience and the association benefits of this association are a lot, I must say. I mean, the school suddenly uh, has a very different outlook. The way people perceive a certain school after FSM comes in is a lot different after that, because they just get that whole upliftment. Firstly, in terms of the infrastructure, like you can see, there are workshops conducted, there's music constantly buzzing, and more importantly, we see a very lively and a school that is far more alive, and they want to do so much more. Some of the best schools where we have currently associated ourselves with are the Bishop School in Pune, the Orchid group of schools, the KLEs, and large group of schools. Even in Delhi, we are at the Delhi Public School and the Modern School, Delhi Barakamba. So at this point, keeping the COVID situation in mind, principals, this is for all teachers, principals, coordinators who are here. We have special offering of giving this course for 300 rupees a month per student, and if that works well for us, we are game for it. We really want to and in fact, at this time, I must also say that we've launched another program called the FSM Buddy. The FSM Buddy program is where you have both the left and the right thing. So we've got dance, we've got uh, arts, we've got painting, drawing, and everything coming together. So people can actually choose not just music, but they've got other avenues to choose from as well. So that's the FSM Buddy deck that you can see on the screen. And here we've got teachers from across all countries. It's not just India, we've got them from across the globe. We're already teaching a lot of students in the UAE, the US, Singapore, Australia. And we hope to spread the joy of music, and we want to give this benefit of association to a lot of us here. So NEP is a win-win for us. We know that in the long run, NEP is going to play a huge role in getting this association integrated with a lot of the schools that we have in this country. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the time you've given us.
Thank you, Ryan, for sharing the effect and magic of music. How it can, create or it can increase efficiency in other subjects as well. So big thanks and time for the last part of the session. We have received questions from various parts. I would present those questions, and I also request our speakers to share their thoughts and comments on those questions. But before I start presenting questions, I'll take a minute in explaining, what exactly we do in school, Lalaji Solutions, and after that we'll start asking questions. I'll share my screen here. Most of you are already aware, the work we are doing at School Lalaji. We are India's largest, vendor supplier management company for educational institutions. In fact, we are India's one-stop solution platform for educational institutions. We are currently present in 42 cities, working with somewhere around 4,500 institutions across country. We help institutions primarily in three ways. We help institutions in buying right thing from right people at right price. We also help institutions in selling their old items like their old buses, generators, furniture. We also help institutions in arranging money. That may be in terms of loan or fee financing or some other ways. Why any educational institution? Why there is a need for such kind of platform? You know, in last 10-12 years, we all have seen a huge infrastructure development in education. A lot of new companies, a lot of innovative products and services have come up in last 10-12 years. But one very difficult scenario has also emerged, that these all companies are not able to reach out or are able to meet school leaders, or as a school leader you also face this problem that you are not able to meet everyone. You are not able to meet, or there is no, in particular there is no system in education how to procure different things, how to there is no R&D kind of structure in our education world. So here we come and we understand your school, we understand your requirement, we understand your taste, and then accordingly we meet different people, we negotiate with them, we understand their product, we understand their features, and then we accordingly we filter those companies and connect those companies to you. And you know uh, generally we are dealing with these different categories in smart class, uniform, insurance, diesel. Yes, in some parts we are also delivering diesel to the school doorstep at 75 paisa per liter cheaper than the market price. We are also installing solar plant, language labs, security solutions, furniture, recruitment solutions for leaders and for teachers, music classrooms, healthcare, robotics, CAM team labs, career counseling, stationery, digital marketing, IT solutions, educational tour, generators, learning tools, and finance. And we take the guarantee that will at least save 5 to 7% of your total expenditure. So that's kind of a additional revenue generation for the school. Just one example, in 2019 we saved around 2 crore 40 lakh rupees in bus insurance, for different schools. These are some major highlights. So last year we did 8 megawatt plus solar installation, 3,000 plus bus insurance, 400 plus smart classroom, 2,000 plus cameras, 350 plus training programs. 56 old buses we sold from one school to another, and we install uniform in different schools. By 2021, we aim to reach out to 10,000 institutions. We need your support, guidance, and blessings. So with this, I end here, and I would request all our speakers to, you know. So first, I would request Seema ma'am, if we can present our first question to you.
Sure.
This question has come from Mr. Amit Shukla. Amit Shukla ji is a director with the Ryan International. He's a PGD physics with Ryan International Sector 21 Faridabad. He has asked why there is a less emphasis on experimentation and more on theory mugging up. So what are those areas in NEP which would take us, from which would help us in eliminating these kind of negatives in education? If you can
So I
highlight
think
one of
NEP has, yes, very, very clearly laid down that experimental and experiential learning needs to take over or needs to eliminate the rote learning and memorization. And that is what is the key factor, which is very, very student centric. And for this is what teachers need to get ready, because we as educator also are of the mindset, which was a traditional mindset of making the children learn for the examination. Now it is way beyond examination. That is why I think most of the time, most of the educational institution with the progressive approach now talking about application based learning, inquiry based learning, more of experimentation and more of experiential learning. This is very well laid, and that is the future.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you, ma'am. Now I would request Anisha ma'am. Anisha ma'am, this question has come from Miss Sudipta Mohanty. She is PGT English with St. Andrews Scott Senior Secondary School, Delhi. Ms. Sudipta has asked, how will the parents' cooperation be ensured in making NEP a success? Anisha ma'am. I believe Anisha ma'am is not available at this moment. She'll come back. Uh, so I'll put this question. I'll reserve this question because I won't ask this question to from Rana ma'am. This has come from your school only. So I'll come to you with different question. Rana ma'am, a lot of, in fact, this is a regular question to us. A lot of people, doubt that after the implementation of NEP, the unorganized play schools, will get eliminated. What are your assessments? What would happen to those play schools?
In many play schools, like people, they are doing hard work. Many facilities they are giving, and they are trained the children. They are giving the proper training, as well as to get the admission in means senior schools. So there is no problem. Very few local, very small nursery schools are not able to do the work because the people are not paying the fee too much. So those people are not able to pay. Means do give the facilities to the children. That's why like very few school can do, but they are doing well.
Right, right. I'll come to you, Negi ma'am. I'll come to you, and with this question, I'll just rephrase this question, and I would request if you can add your, I believe this NEP has focused on early child care education. A lot of people have, suggested that this is for the first time has recognized the early that part of education. So I want to understand, and this is again a very regular question. So what kind of differentiation you can visualize? Let's say down 10 years down the line or 15 years down the line. Because a lot of schools had already educating the students in that kind of age. So what are your assessments?
So basically, if we talk about metropolitan cities or urban area, you will see most of the standalone preschool also doing commendable work. And you can see the chains of preschool, they are actually catering to the needs which is needed. But with NEP coming into picture, yes, there will be certain setbacks wherein maybe standalone school might not be able to survive if they will not revive their own policy, or if they will not be futuristic or visionary. Also, it can happen that small standalone school will become the feeder for the bigger schools. So they can have a kind of tie up and a feeder for the bigger school. So seeing coming to next 10 years, I think next 10 year, either this sector will strengthen a lot and they will provide, say, regular students to senior schools from grade 1 itself. Otherwise, the only standalone school wherein the systems are not in place, or the approach is not futuristic, or they are just that gali mohalla school, those schools will not be able to thrive, because every parent will look for the complete setup for the child, wherein nursery to grade 2 is has come under one bracket now. So the parent will think, I will put my child in the school wherein right from the child's nursery's learning milestone and the grade 2 milestone can also be catered in one particular school only. So it is like very wait and watch kind of situation. Either they can thrive, or it is like sometimes it's said that bigger fish might eat the smaller fish. So
Right. In fact,
it's
I have one supplementary, question to this, Neki ma'am.
mm,
The primary reason behind, why these unorganized or this preschools mushroomed across, different cities, because there are two three problems. One is the cost is one problem. Second,
right.
distance is another problem. A lot of parents don't want to send their kids to to far away schools. And third, even in the metropolitan cities or even urban areas, do you really believe that we are going to we would be ever able to create that number of schools who can fulfill the requirement for all the citizens in terms of quantity?
We can see, it's like if any K-12 school, K-12 schools have that kind of capacity. But then the first point that you said, one is financial constraint. If a K-12 school charges the X amount and a small school charges like say 1/10 of the X amount, parents always feel bacha chota hi to hai. I mean, they do not understand how important is early childhood education, how important are those learning milestones. So, it will take a lot of time to come out of that fixed mindset and go to the growth mindset, where we will see that, yes, the child who is coming to school at the age of 3 or 4, they are the one who can grasp and learn maximum, because that is where maximum brain development takes place. So it's like, it's whatever I say, it's like a two-way sword. It can happen this way also, or it can happen that way also. But yes, when we see metropolitan city, they have the capability to cater, because most of the big schools, they grow only from pre-primary. Any school grows from pre-primary, not from the senior grades.
Okay, right. Anisha ma'am, I believe you have joined us. So we kept one question reserved for you. This question is asked about, in fact, a lot of people believe that to make NEP a successful policy, we need full cooperation from parents. And this question asks about, what would be your suggestions how we can ensure parents cooperation? You are on mute, ma'am.
We need to meet the parents and we need to explain them how we are going to implement this, and we need their support and cooperation. Then only, once they understand, then only we can move ahead, I think. Unless and until they understand what changes this, what new education policy is all about, how it is going to benefit their child, and how the school is going to implement, unless and until they understand, it will be difficult to get their support and cooperation in future.
Absolutely, absolutely. The communication is key. Communication between parents and schools. But what we saw during the pandemic, that communication was completely broken. Confidence and trust between school and parents in some part, and other schools did very well, but that would be a challenge. Thank you, Anisha ma'am. With this, I would request Dr. Priyadarshini if we can
Yes.
come to you.
Yes, sir.
Right. This is again a very regular question, Priyadarshini ma'am, that Anisha ma'am and Seema ma'am both talked about the importance of vocational program which has been proposed in NEP. So how it would be logistically possible, to provide that facilities to students for schools? How do you think? What would be the solutions?
So solutions to start with, we can have a kind of a workshop, which is a small workshop kind of a thing, which is being started at the school itself. And like ma'am said, ki we need to make the parents understand. So we need to demonstrate, sir. The students, they are learning, and it is impacting their overall growth. That is the thing. Like the students, they can simultaneously, they can go to a workshop which is related to electricity, designing circuits and all. They can go to a carpentry workshop, they can go to a bakery workshop, anything like these small niches, they need to be created. And I understand that everything cannot be provided by one particular school. It's very difficult. So if we can interact amongst each other, like the schools and the universities, they are on the same page. Like if we are providing something in university, we cannot call the students who are in from primary grade or middle school, but in high schools definitely. And see, like coding, it has been, the students are learning from 6th standard. So if a student is there who is very much into it, and he wants to have that kind of exposure, we are open to it. Okay, send your students. So similarly, like we have the infrastructure, we have this hotel management kind of a thing. If somebody is interested in bakery, or in any other related to these culinary skills, then we are most open. We can provide the platform, you can utilize it. Okay, now see, everything, it needs to be converted into grades. How would the student be benefited out of it? If as a university person, I am looking for a student, okay, that person must have gained some certain skill. How will I know? So these things also needs to be converted into grades. But I don't know how it would be done, but it is really required.
Right, right. Collaboration would be the key. In fact, a lot of
Yeah.
educators have suggested that schools would be needed to connect with their local ITIs or local engineering
Mm.
colleges or local industries clusters. So
and
collaboration
and
would be a
and I
key.
and I also feel we are just looking at the percentage. Okay, the student has got 90%, 70%, or 60%. But if he is having this additional skill, that would help him. That would help him to go in whatever field he wants to excel in, or whatever he is interested in. So these things needs to be worked upon.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hmm.
With this, I come to you, Sunil ji. Sunil ji, you have been doing a lot of research about this. The professional skill set requirement. So this with this change, this the flexibility in choosing subjects. This again a regular question. So how? What are your assessment? How it would impact the the college admission of those students? For example, one student chosen physics, chemistry, and history. Instead of choosing math. So how it would impact the admission prospects, and again eventually the job prospects.
Rachel, what I feel is that there is a lack of continuum between school education to the college education and then to the industry. So sometimes, a child should be allowed with the proper guidance what he wants to choose. He should be allowed to explore, and after exploring, he should be allowed to some kind of assessment needs to be done, and then he should be, if there will be a lack of continuum between what skill set are required for an industry. For example, if I have done an MBA marketing, I will go into the marketing job, but I do not have that skill set. So the continuum has been broken. If I do not have that aptitude and personality, but I have very high numerical aptitude, I will go to the non-medical stream in the school, and from that non-medical stream, then maybe I do not have that much capability. I may not be able to clear maybe some good exam. Then I will go into some lower college where I take the admission, and there I'll be learning again that doesn't suit my API aptitude. Then again, where is the job is coming up? So the question here is that there exists a scientific ways. Using that, we should explore, find best fit, and then the path. It's that simple solution. And the problem is going to bigger after this new education policy. It was big enough to choose the stream itself. Now it comes to the subject. As you said, if a student will choose physics and say physics, music, and accounts, right? So what will become? He has three subjects. He has chosen three subjects: physics, account, and music. Then what it will become? And he has an interest in all these three. He can just. I have an example for it that he can become a musical instrument manufacturer. He has a knowledge of music. He knows physics. To make a musical instrument, he needs to study sound. And after that, to become a businessman, he needs to know account. So there is an option for everybody, but a proper guidance and there should be a digital platform. Like, it's not possible with the humans, because
Right.
how many people there are so many students in India that, so it can be done only digitally. It can be escalated to the masses only in a digital way. So that is the requirement, and that's my answer to your question. That should be a continuum. Thank you.
Thank you, and certainly it's a good move. And but with the time, it will get evolved, and it will set in. So thank you, Sunilji. Now I would request Ryan, if you can ask you to join.
Yes,
Ryan,
yes.
this NEP has a huge amount of focus on the art. So how do you see the evolution of art, art education in coming time, Ryan?
There is a, if you look at the whole NEP, I mean, from early years till about, I think till about 12th, art is constantly in. I think somebody had spoken, I can't recollect who spoke about experiential learning. They spoke about how, learning is going to be discovery based. It's going to be more of multidisciplinary. It's going to be with the choice that a student has, an activity based learning. And what better way to get that thing going where you're not criticized for doing something wrong? I mean, imagine you're playing the guitar, you're playing a wrong note, but nobody says, hey, that's wrong. I mean, we know that any form of music can help. And even if you do make a mistake, it helps generate synapses, is what we just saw, in the brain. So art is that form that will only help induce that confidence that the child needs to explore the newer avenues that are available in today's day and age. Talking about technology or any other form, like what Mr. Sunil spoke of, So if you really want to have that creative side of thinking, you want to develop that side, while on one side you have a very strong, robust education system that helps support the left brain. I think art will play a crucial role in getting the right kind of personality out from our universities. And it will give that